Hello and welcome to the demonstration of the eWorkPlace survey tool. As part of the eWorkPlace program, participants will be required to fill out 3 surveys throughout the length of the program. The first after the first week when they log in and start, second survey after 3 months of being involved with the program, and a final survey after 9 months. All of the information will be used by the Humphrey Institute to study the effectiveness of the program, and none of the information gathered will be released to third parties unless specifically required by law. So the first thing that participants will receive is an email directing them to log in and track the days that they teleworked for the previous week. So users will just log in at the Commute Tool page. And that's going to direct them right into the first survey that they take. Normally it would just ask you at this point to track on the commute calendar, but first time you log in you're going to be directed to this first survey. And this asks, how did you get into work for that first week that you were involved with the program? And it asks you to select by mode for the entire week. So I'm going to pretend I'm a person here that's involved, and I'm going to say I took public transportation, I teleworked on Tuesday, and Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday I took public transportation. Saturday and Sunday I took off. And the next question asks whether you traveled in on I-94 or 394 when you come into work, and whether you use the min-pass lane. And then it's going to ask, to do your job best, how many days per week would you need to work at a location other than your company's office? So I'm going to say 1 day there. And then they're going to ask, what percentage of your work do you spend at A, at home, B, in your company or office, and then C, out with clients. So you fill in those percentages and hit next. So the next question asks where you prefer to do your work, at home or away from the office, at the office, or a mixture between the two. And then it's going to ask you to select 3 benefits that you feel that you get from working at home or through eWorkPlace. Then it's going to ask you about your productivity, whether you feel it increases, does not change, or decreases when you're working from home. And then it's going to ask about your available work hours, whether they increase, decrease, or do not change. And then the next section is going to ask about the participant's opinion toward eWorkPlace or telework programs. It's going to ask 21 questions, and whether the participants strongly disagree, are neutral, agree, or strongly agree. And I'm just going to read the 21 statements. Number 1, most friends think telework is a good idea. Number 2, I prefer interaction at a conventional workplace. Number 3, I believe my supervisor is supportive of telework or eWorkPlace. Number 4, I believe that there is a risk of being viewed negatively by management if I participate in the eWorkPlace program. Number 5, my colleagues think eWorkPlace is a good idea. Number 6, it is likely I'll participate in the eWorkPlace program in the coming year. Number 7, it's hard to manage my personal life when I'm working from home. Number 8, eWorkPlace saves on gas costs. Number 9, distractions from household members are a concern if I work from home. Number 10, I need to be seen at work in order to advance my career. Number 11, it's hard to maintain my work productivity while working at home. Number 12, I could do at least part of my job in a location other than my office. Number 13, my commute trip is a useful transition between work and home. Number 14, I believe eWorkPlace will save time for my family and or myself. Number 15, my commute trip allows me to do errands on the way to or from work. Number 16, working at home may increase family conflicts. Number 17, besides my office, I have at least one place to do work that is clean and free of distractions. Number 18, I believe eWorkPlace will allow me to get more work done. Number 19, members of my family feel I should participate in the eWorkPlace program. Number 20, I believe eWorkPlace will reduce the stress of my commute. And then the last question or statement is, I am self-disciplined. So the next section of the survey is going to ask you to enter in the date of your most recent telework day and ask whether you took any trips from home while you were teleworking that day. If you think for this example, we're just going to click no, that we did not take any trips. But for the next section, we'll demonstrate what happens when you do click yes. So the next section after that asks you to enter the date of your most recent normal workday where you worked from the office. And then it asks you, did you take any trips from the office while you were there? And we're going to click yes. And then it's going to ask you a little bit about that trip. It's going to ask you where you started from, where you ended from, whether you traveled on I-35W or I-394, and whether you used MinPass. And then it's going to ask you what the end location type was, and that could be a hospital or an office building or a school. So you select from the pull-down list there. And then it's going to ask about start time and end time. So you enter in the start of the trip and end of the trip, and the main purpose of the trip. And again, it gives you a pull-down list, and then it's going to ask you how you got around, and for this I'm going to say I walked, and then it asks you whether you had additional trips that day or not, and we're going to say yes, that was my last trip. So that's going to bring us to the end of the survey, and at this point you can go to your profile and track your most recent week of commuting activity in the days that you teleworked. And that brings us to the end of the demonstration of the eWorkPlace survey tool.